So I'm back. So I want to give my 1 year review of Mortal Kombat 1. It's officially been 1 year since it was released. If you had pre-ordered it, you got it on September 14th, 2023. For everybody else, the official, I guess, release for everybody who didn't pre-order it was September 19th. So of course I pre-ordered it. So I had it since September 14th. So this is my 1 year review of the game, what I think about the game and everything like that. So I want to start off saying been a MK fan forever. My first MK game was MK2 on Sega Genesis when I was like 5, 6 years old. Then I had MK3 and MK3 Ultimate, Armageddon, Mortal Kombat 4. I didn't play most Mortal Kombat games from even DC versus Mortal Kombat. Of course, I had Mortal Kombat 9, 10, and 11, which is my favorite fighting game of all time. So I'm a huge MK fan. Been playing all of the games for years. I think that MK11 is, like I said before in the review, I think that is the best Mortal Kombat game and the best fighting game of all time, in my personal opinion. So, but talking about MK1, so of course, when it first came out, it got a lot of hate, a lot of mixed reviews. A lot of people feel some type of way about the cameo system. I think that that's probably the biggest issue and complaint about MK1 is cameos. Even still now, people still talk about how they don't like the cameo system and how they couldn't get into the cameo system. I didn't like it at first. I come to understand, like I come to, accept it basically. I don't hate it like I did when it first came out. It just kind of it is what it is. It's okay. I always felt like a lot of people felt that they should have had two modes, like they should have made it optional to where you can do the cameos if you want to, but then there should have been a mode where you don't have to do the cameos. But I get it. That's part of the game, and that's what they wanted you to do. So I got mixed emotions about it for sure. I don't hate it as much as other people. I don't think that it just made the game unplayable. Like a lot of people felt like the cameos made the game unplayable. I don't hate the cameos that much, for sure. So it's all right, for sure. The cameo system. As far as the graphics, like I said, the graphics don't get no better. It's just as good, if not better, than MK11. The graphics is of course phenomenal. The colors, the characters, the way that they look. I didn't like the character models. I liked them better at MK11, like the way they look, the face, they changed everybody's face and made them, I guess, younger. But I like the way, like, Johnny Cage and a lot of people look at MK11 better. But it's still, the graphics is still amazing. What else about the game? The gameplay, well, the story mode. The story mode is great. We know that what is it? Something Rain, and then I forgot the name of it, but we know on the 24th they releasing part two, basically the expansion pack with the added on story, and then of course a couple more characters. So I'm not gonna fully review the story until part two came out, just like with MK11 Ultimate when they added on to the story. So it could make the story better or for worse. But the first half of the story that's completed, it was straight. It was all right. It wasn't I didn't really like the way it ended, but I guess that's why they adding on to it. So the story mode was all right. It wasn't terrible. It was an all right story. Comparing it to MK, I think I probably like MKX story better because I remember when Scorpion killed, I think it was Quan Chi. That was one of the highlight moments. I like MK11 Ultimate Story, how they let you pick. I like so all of the story modes is pretty much good for the most part, including MK1. The story was all right, um, for sure. So we'll see how when they add on the story, the final ending, we'll see how that end up being. As far as what else, the best part about this game to me, the thing that I like the most is the roster. I think that they did the roster the best, and I think once the game is done, is over and done with, it will probably have one of the best rosters that MK never had. especially if they have one more combat pack and they add Jade and a couple other people mixed with the cameos, like you got a lot of option. They basically try to include it, a lot of people in this game. And then the guest characters was all right, Omni-Man, Peacemaker, Homelander, then you had Ermac and Takeda, and then now you got Ghostface, Noob Saibot and stuff. So the roster is good, is better than 11 because the only thing I didn't like about MK11 was the roster. I felt like the roster could have been better. And I was expecting one more combat pack, but they just announced that they were done working on the game and went to another one. So that was my only gripe. Like to me, MK11 was like a 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10. If the roster was better, it would have been a 10 out of 10 to me. So I do think that's the one thing that MK1 got over MK11 is that I think that the roster is gonna be better in the end. And I like how the roster is, especially hopefully it's not over. Like I said, need to add on at least one more combat pack, and there's a lot of people they can add. Jade was my main in MK11, so one of them Jade players. Even though I pick random and I play with everybody, just like MK1 and 11, I really used to play random select. But the person that I played the most with was Jade. Just like in MK1, I think the person that I played the most with is Scorpion, and I hated Scorpion in MK11. But yeah, the roster is probably the best thing about the game. The gameplay is good. It's straight. The brutalities. I kind of like MK11 brutalities better, but this one got some good. When there's some good fatalities and there's some good brutalities, then there's some that you could tell they was lazy on. There's a lot of brutalities and stuff and fatalities that was like, okay, this is lazy. Um, y'all could have worked better, but some is all right. As far as the skins, because I hated the skins, so they've been doing better with the skins, especially with the movie skins, the Reptile, the Scorpion, the Sub-Zero. I love them skins. I think them probably ones two, like some of the best skins that they didn't had in any MK game. Them movie skins that they gave Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Reptile. So I really like them skins that they did. And then they didn't have, they've been giving us MK3 skins. They done gave us a lot of classic skins to work with, mixed with, a bunch of trash. So it's a lot of skins to choose from. So I like that about the game also, is the skins and stuff like that. Overall, the gameplay, um, I hate online because in MK11 I used to play online ranked all of the time, but in this one I hate it. I hate, and I guess I'm one of the only people who really point this out. I hate that they don't let you switch your character after you lose, like they did in MK11. You can only switch your cameo when you lose, and I hate that. Like you should be able to switch your character, because me who like to play random select, I like to start off with random select. Then if I lose, I like to pick a counter person. You can't do that in this one. So that's why I actually play way more casual than I have ranked, just because of that reason. So that's one thing I wish that they would have changed and had like MK11, that they let you change your character, not just your cameo. So trying to think what else about the game. Overall, I mean the game is still good. So far, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. Is probably what I give it. It's a solid game. It's still a solid game. I still play it, every day. Well, not every day, but I still play it on a regular basis. I plan on getting the expansion pack on the 24th, of course. I plan on getting that. Um, I don't like, I ain't gonna, that's another subject for another day, but I don't like how they changed Cyrex's sector to females. A lot of people don't care. I really don't like it because I've been waiting for Cyrex and Sector since MK11. I wanted them in, and I thought the last combat pack was gonna have them. So I'm glad that they finally brought them back to the game. I really don't care for them switching up the females, and going off into the LBGT stuff and switching characters from male to female. I'm a conservative, I guess you can call it. Like, I like stuff to stay the same. Like, just leave the people what they is and, leave it what it was. But I guess I get it is what it is. You got to appeal to a certain demographic. Then Stephanie, whoever, one of the lead people who be on the combat pass, we know that she's transgender. So, Now, I wouldn't be surprised if she was pushing this also, but that just is, is what it is. I would have preferred them to keep Sector and Cyrex how they was, but I ain't gonna cry over it. So overall, it's a solid game. Like I said, so far we'll see with how it is after the 24th once they add on and hopefully get another combat pack and maybe it can raise to like an 8.5 out of 10, or something like that. But so far, like I said, I gave MK11 like a 9 out of 10, 9.5, or just say 9 out of 10. I give this an 8 out of 10. It's a little step back from MK11. I gave MKX like a 8.5 out of 10. And then MK9, it's been a while. It's been a long time since I played MK9, but MK9 kind of got me back into Mortal Kombat. Like it's really the game that kind of saved the franchise because I think was it Deadly Alliance, whichever one was before 9 was, it kind of started to fall off. And then I know DC versus Mortal Kombat was one of the games right before that too. So it was taking a dive and MK9 kind of saved it. And then that's when they introduced Freddy Krueger and the guest character. So, MK9 kind of set off, these new current games and kind of, revamped MK for the most part. It's kind of like Batman Begins, in the Batman saga or whatever, what that did to the Batman, movie. So yeah, overall, like I said, it's a good game. A year later, I am still playing it. I still play it from time to time. I still like it. Like I said, the thing that I like the most is the roster. The thing that I hate the most, I just feel like MK11 was just a overall better game, like gameplay wise to me. From the brutalities to the moves to the cameo thing. I'm one of the people I miss crushing blows. Like there's a lot of stuff that they took out from MK11 that they didn't put in this game, like crushing blows. A lot of people didn't like that. I like that because it was a good setup. Um, I do hate about all MK games, especially this one, is the X-ray or the what is it, the fatal blow or whatever. I always felt like it take too much health. Like you could literally be losing, and then you get a lucky fatal or fatal blow or whatever. Then you can win a match, take almost 50% from somebody. Like I always say, I don't think they should get rid of it because it's a nice little cool feature, but it shouldn't take as much health as it does. Like I hate that in this game too, for sure. Like, you can literally get lucky and be losing and get a fatal blow and win a match. Like it's crazy. So yeah, I just wanted to say, talk about it real quick in my 1 year review of MK1. Time be flying. I was really anticipating this game. Like I said, it's still a solid game. Um, it's not MK11, but it's still great. It's still a solid game, still worth playing. And then, like I said, I'm gonna see what they do going forward with this expansion pack, how it's gonna be. But a lot of stuff with this game, I felt like they was being a little bit lazy or might have rushed it. Like a lot of people were saying is that MK11 was so successful that the studio or whatever WB probably was on them and pressing them to hurry up and release another game, like a money grab. Because a lot of people was thinking Injustice was gonna be first. I mean, was gonna come out, and then all of a sudden this game came out. So, I could see them like kind of forcing and kind of speeding this game out for money, reasons. So that might be part of the problem too. And I give them credit for trying something different with the cameo system. I do understand because everybody complained about Madden and 2K, how it's the same game every year. So they did something to where you can't say that, oh, this is the same game as 11. They gave you something totally different. So that is the good part that I do give them credit for, is that they made sure that this is a different game. You can't say that MK1 and MK11 is the same. So that is, love it or hate it, at least, you got a whole new game. And, it's not exactly like MK11. So, they tried something. A lot of people didn't like it, but, I still give them credit for trying something different, rather. So that's my review so far. A year after, I give it a solid 8 out of 10. And, I'll be back and we'll see once the game is completely done if my rating then went up or down.